What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a Saturday edition of the MoBetta Sports live stream. I'm your host, Antonio, aka Mr. MoBetta. And today, as always, we are going to be talking Texas sports. Namely, today we're going to be talking Texas baseball. Texas baseball starting the weekend series yesterday against Texas Tech. Got off to a great start. This is going to be a 3-game series. Just finishing up the second game. Pardon me. We're just finishing up the second game as of a few minutes ago. Texas did go on to lose today 7-2. Much different looking baseball team today than it was yesterday. If you are unaware, yesterday Texas and Texas Tech played 6:30 p.m. Texas won that game 22-8. Needless to say, the bats came alive yesterday, right? And another great thing that we saw was the pitching staff did not have to rotate 15 pitchers in the game. All we saw was LeBaron Johnson and Ace Whitehead, the only two pitchers that we saw yesterday, and they had a very solid outing by standards of Texas pitching so far this season, but still not great overall, right? Only LeBaron Johnson only had himself, I think, 6 strikeouts. Like 6 walks. Ace Whitehead, only 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, tons of walking. And obviously, even though we won the game 22-8, still giving up 8 runs in the game, giving up a lot of hits. And that translated over to today as well. For as good of a day as we had yesterday, especially hitting the ball, 2 grand slams in yesterday's game. Insane. Will Gasparino continues to just absolutely dominate at the plate. For a freshman, to see him coming in and batting as well as he has so far this season, it's really remarkable. Every time it seems like he gets up to the plate, he's driving in a run, he's hitting a double, he's on base, right? Yesterday was no different. 5 hits and 6 at-bats. He drove in 4 runs. Again, had the grand slam, had a couple of doubles as well. Peyton Powell also had himself a 4-hit day. He did really well yesterday. Porter Brown, 2 for 5, had himself a home run. There were, I think 4 or 5 home runs in the game yesterday. And today, Texas just petered out, man. They did not look good at the plate. A bunch of offers, actually, at the plate today, which was very unfortunate. You know, when we go and we look at what happened yesterday, and then to go and see today, 0 for 5, 1 for 4, 0 for 3, 1 for 3, 0 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4, 1 for 4. Like, that is not the kind of day that we can have if we're going to win games. On the other hand, we got Cash is 4 for 5, Stripling 2 for 3, Maxey 3 for 4. And they weren't just, like nothing hits. These were hits that were bringing in runs all game. And Texas Tech just eventually pulled away. A very different game than what we witnessed yesterday. And one thing that is really concerning outside of just the pitching, because again, I'm going to sound like a broken record all season long if something doesn't get corrected in as far as the pitching rotation is concerned. We just don't have any it guys pitching. We simply don't. Outside of Tanner Witt and outside of LeBaron Johnson, maybe you can throw David Shaw in there, but still hit or miss. Max Grubbs, hit or miss. Pretty much everyone else. Andre Duplantier, hit or miss. Tanner Witt even, hit or miss. David Shaw, hit or miss. Ace Whitehead, hit or miss. Like, nobody is just straight up dominant. Like, all of the best teams in college baseball right now, we saw it against LSU. Pitching staff on point. Every pitcher that comes up is a threat. A&M, every pitcher that comes up is a threat. Texas Tech, not so much, right? They even themselves have in my opinion, some issues with the pitching staff, not nearly as glaring or as severe as Texas does. And again, I get it that they're a young team. There's a lot of games left. There's still over 40 games to be played. They're going to need all season long to really grow and mature and Some of the things that we're seeing with this team can only be corrected or developed through experience. Some of the things that we are seeing are not at all due to development or experience in their routine baseball plays. So many errors we're seeing in the field of play, whether it's balls getting under gloves, bouncing over gloves, fielders, taking their eye off the ball, double clutching, dropping the ball, et cetera, et cetera. So many errors, game in and game out. It feels like Texas has yet to complete a game without at least one or two errors. I don't know if they have gotten through an entire game without at least committing one error. And it's, like I said, when we went and played LSU and Vandy and Texas State last weekend, that was the baseline, right? We were going to see where Texas was at as a team. And we saw, even in those games, Texas can hit the ball. Our offense is explosive. We can put the ball in play. We can score when we need to. But when we don't score, we do not have the defense. We do not have the pitching staff that can carry us through games. We just simply don't have it. And that is what is separating us from being just a decent team to being really good. We're not even close to being a great team by any stretch of the imagination. Too many times are we watching pitches go by us when we're standing at the plate, just watching pitches. Just watching strikeouts happen. Too many walks were given up. Too many times we're hitting batters. I don't think I've ever seen in this few stretch of games of college baseball, I've never seen so many batters be hit. Like, it's insane. We're also hitting 1 to 2 batters a game, right? That is unacceptable at this level of baseball. It's unacceptable when you are the University of Texas baseball program, period. Like, to have multiple batters in a row or multiple batters every game hit by pitches is crazy. That means your pitchers don't have control over the strike zone. They don't have control over their pitches. And we're seeing why the pitching staff, or we're seeing what the real problem is when it comes to the pitching staff. Walks, hit by pitches, can't put the ball over the strike zone. And when they do put the ball over the plate, they're leaving balls right over the middle. Meat pitches that every batter drools to hit, slobbering over it. Pause. Immunity. And they're taking us yard. Like, they're the amount of home runs that are being hit off this pitching staff is crazy. Now, of course, we're doing our fair share of hitting the ball. We are doing well with the bats, but we are getting absolutely throttled at the plate. Every single game, even games that we're winning, we're still giving up 5, 6, 7, 8 runs. That cannot happen if you are expecting this team to be in the playoffs down the line, in the postseason down the line. If you expect them to get to the College World Series, it's not going to happen with this pitching rotation. It's not going to happen with this pitching staff as the way it is right now. And it's unfortunate, because of the season that we had last year. But this is a new year, new team. A lot of graduates from last year's team. Very young team coming in. And again, another weekend so far where we're seeing their inexperience and their immaturity as baseball players happen in real time, right? We are just mistakes that happen with this team just simply don't happen with other really good baseball teams. And that's the only way there is to put it. We play Texas Tech again tomorrow. Let me see what time that game is at. I want to say it's going to be an early game. Yep. Same time as today. We'll play Texas Tech again tomorrow at 2 p.m. And that's the rubber match. We've now split the series. We are split on the series 1-1. So we got the rubber match tomorrow. It should be a really nice day out again. Another beautiful day for baseball. At least here in Austin, 60 degrees and sunny. Got a little breeze going, but a beautiful day for baseball. Hopefully it is the same tomorrow. All I know is we're going to need to bring out, I don't know. Somebody in the pitching staff is just going to have to step up. Like, there's really no other way to put it. And I don't know if there's any other conversation point about this team other than the lack of pitching ability, because everything else I think is there. Outside of, again, the mental errors, fielding, getting down, I think trying to do too much in the infield. Again, we see Jalen Flores making ridiculous plays at shortstop. Just absolutely ridiculous. Game in and game out. But I don't think that every single play that is being made has to be so dramatic. I don't know any other way to put that. And I know a lot of that is just the way the ball bounces. But sometimes it's just like just trying to do too much, trying to be too pretty. Like just scoop the ball, throw the ball. Easy out. Simple fielding. Like keep it simple. You don't have to be anything crazy. Just keep it simple and we can get in and out of innings. We're just having too many innings where batters are getting on base, runners advancing, missed pitches, wild pitches, allowing runners to advance. We saw all of that today. We saw some of it yesterday as well, but we definitely saw it today. And it's just sloppy, really, really sloppy baseball, which is, it's just not what we're accustomed to seeing with the David Pierce coached baseball team. Let's just be real. Like in the time that David Pierce has been a Texas baseball coach, I don't really feel like we've had extremely sloppy play, and that is what we have right now. Again, that's going to be an experience thing. It's just the way it is. This team is going to have to grow up, and they're going to have to do it, in front of us in real time, in front of all Texas baseball fans in real time, college baseball fans in real time. This team is going to have to grow game in and game out. And I think that they will. I think that they will continue to grow. I just think that they need time. And luckily, it's a long season. We got a long, long stretch of games ahead of us, and we'll see. We'll see what the improvement looks like. We'll see if they improve. Pitching is just something that you improve through repetition. And this team needs a lot of repetition pitching. That should be the main focus, in my opinion. They should do almost nothing else except focus on pitching. We're doing solid in every other front. We are doing okay. We can play with the best of teams because we're good at hitting. We can play with the best of teams because we're good at moving base runners around the bases. We can compete with teams because we can put the ball in the field of play. However, we are way too reliant on the team to be offensive, and we're not nearly defensively sound enough. I mean, look at if you watch the game today, how many times did we have the defense shifted to the right side of the field against left-handed batters or to the left side of the field against right-handed batters, and Texas Tech is hitting directly into our shifts, and still the ball is getting into the outfield. Still they're getting extra base hits. Still they're able to hit around our shifts, hit around our adjustments. That, it can't happen, right? Like, there's no excuse for it. There's no way you shift into, you perfectly shift the way a batter is going to be pulling the ball and still allow him to hit right between you. It's little things, right? It's little things. And they don't seem like major things as the game is going on, but little mistakes and little things like that, they compound and they add up over the course of the game. And that's what we got today. A game that started off looking like Texas might, get off to another hot start. Got a home run by Porter Brown, had a home run to open the game. And then just petered out and just fizzled out. That happens when you face decent pitching, but when that happens, you got to have your own pitching staff and your own fielding staff behind you to be able to support and to be able to alleviate the lack of being able to hit the ball. And we're not getting that right now from this team. So that's just going to be something that we're really going to have to keep an eye on and watch out for, and hopefully keep your fingers crossed that that's something that David Pierce can get improved and just get a handle on. We're gonna need multiple pitchers to step up over the course of the season, and that's just the reality of it. So not too much to report on today. Again, it was yesterday was an ass whooping on Texas A&M. We were able to put out a ton of runs, a ton of hits. We had something like 22 hits yesterday, 5 home runs, 2 grand slams. It was insane the number of runs we were able to bring in. And then for today to just show up and just be a complete dud was unfortunate, but again, to a degree to be expected from a young team like this. We will see what tomorrow's looking like. Hopefully we can round out this series with a win, going 2-1 in this series. We need a series victory, right? We went 0-3 last weekend. Then we lost to A&M on Tuesday. Going 1-2 this weekend would be really demoralizing, I think, for this team. So hopefully tomorrow they pick it up and we can take the series. But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Keep it short and sweet today. Not like I said, not a whole lot. Nothing crazy going on except for the same old mistakes that we've been seeing since the beginning of the season. The same thing that I've been saying since I saw them play the first 6-7 games of the season. Pitching staff has got to get better, and that's really the end of the story. But all right, I will be back tomorrow after the final game. Hopefully we're coming back with a victory. We'll wrap up the series and talk some more Texas baseball and probably talk some Texas football as well. Got some roster updates. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and let you guys go. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Continue enjoying watching the rest of the baseball games that they have going on. Or just get out and enjoy the day. It's a beautiful day outside. That's going to do it for me. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with a ton of information. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm your host, Antonio, a.k.a.